So Nick Sortor has been arrested. For those of you who don't know, Nick Sortor is an independent journalist. He covers all different types of topics throughout politics. He most recently was at the Portland ICE protest, and the Portland police decided to arrest him on basically BS charges. He is now out of prison, jail, whatever you want to call it. I want to go over what happened, and then he also went on Jack Posobiec's podcast, basically talking about the whole experience and how basically it made no sense. Portland police is going after innocent people, just covering the everything going on, rather than Antifa and all the crazy people actually doing the destruction and harm. This is how backwards it is in Portland right now. So if this is content you like, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's dive right into it. So the first video here, this is where this supposedly happened. So before he got arrested, he was actually attacked and assaulted by a member of Antifa. So if you see this little flashlight here towards the left side, this is him. It's like his phone camera. So I'm going to try to show you guys, like shows him falling and then go from there. So you see right here, you see him stumble. That light's on the ground now. So then he goes to like pick it back up. He's in the bottom right corner over here now. Whoever took this camera or this video is a little off. And then he gets back up, recovers. He's like, looks like he's signaling for help with this light. I'm assuming he's holding it up like this, signaling something. He's trying to get people to kind of stay away from him because they're all just trying to attack him. He's just minding his own business.
Mark's the veteran.
Didn't do anything wrong. Look, he's still just walking around. After he got shoved to the ground. Look, people are harassing him here. You can see, like, that's pretty much the whole thing. I'm going to play the beginning part again just so you can see him push right here. It's kind of hard to see. You can kind of see right here someone, like, leaning to attack him, like, right here. And then, yeah, just shoved straight to the ground. So he was assaulted, and he gets arrested. Can someone tell me how that makes sense? So then here's the footage of him actually getting arrested right here. It's a little shortly after.
Whoa.
And this is Portland police.
What's your name?
Look, just have him handcuffs. Now, mind you, if you guys haven't watched my video reacting to Nick Shirley covering this, highly recommend it. I'll put it a link to it. Portland police hasn't been dealing with these ICE protesters, Antifa, all this stuff. They just started to this past week for the first time since June. In Nick Shirley's video, he's interviewing people, and they all said the police haven't been down there in months. They've been ignoring it. While these protests have been going on this whole time, the destruction they're doing, the harm they're doing has been happening this whole time, and they've been ignoring it. But now, Trump wants to send in National Guard to help defend the ICE officers, because the police refuse to, and these ICE officers have to deal with all these protesters every single day. Now they want to pretend like they're doing their job, when in reality they haven't been. And now they're just arresting innocent people. You know, what sense does that make, right? So it's just really crazy how this is like happening. And I want to show you one thing too that he did there before I get to the video of him talking about it. So this is him with the flag. This is not just any flag. This is people burning the American flag here. And he came in and stopped it from being burnt right here.
Oh, he's putting it on the ground and he's making it worse. And now he's standing on it. Now he's standing on it. You're not supposed to stand on it.
Look at that. These insane people are just sitting here burning the American flag for fun. And he comes in and prevents them from doing that.
Oh, he's putting it on the ground.
And they're trying to think he's a bad guy. Oh, he's putting it on the ground. You're literally burning a flag. Don't even try to like point this on someone else. You're literally burning the flag of the country you are a citizen of. And you're trying to act like it's such a horrible place here. And you're going to be like, oh, look what he's doing. This is the stuff he was doing before he got arrested. And this happens at Antifa rallies or protests, riots, whatever you want to call it. All over the country. They're always burning the American flag. Isn't that crazy? They're sitting here saying all these people shouldn't get deported. They should be in this amazing country while they burn the flag of that country. Does that make sense? It doesn't sound like it makes sense, right? And then they'll fly like the Mexico flag or the other countries' flags. If you protesters love those places so much, go there. You don't have to stay here. No one's forcing you to stay here. It's just insane. So this is Nick Sortor. He got out at some point Friday morning. This is most recently he's talking about. I'm recording this at like 4 o'clock Friday. So he got out this morning. This is him talking about it with Jack Posobiec about the whole experience, about basically it didn't make sense that he was the one getting arrested when he was just basically recording, being a journalist, doing what journalists do, while all these other people do all this crazy stuff every single day and it gets ignored. Let me just speed this up real quick. There we go.
These agents, they think that there aren't going to be any sort of repercussions, but of course, a lot of times there are. That's how you get these awesome F around and find out videos of them being maced, right? So naturally, I'm going to flock to that. I'm a journalist. I'm going to show what is happening. And the result that happens, these guys that act like they're super tough are now on the ground crying like little babies because they decided to push an ICE agent and they got maced in the face. So they don't want the world to see that they're not actually these tough military type figures, that they're actually just, I don't know if I can say that word on there, but
so Nick, so you're out there, you're filming. There's the mace. We saw the stuff with the American flag. What happened? What was going on immediately prior to? I mean, this you getting handcuffed?
Yeah, it was because they were upset that I was filming them after they were being maced. I was filming them on the ground crying. They're on the public sidewalk. I'm on a public sidewalk. I can film whatever I want to in public. And there's nothing they can do about that. They don't understand that.
Of course.
I mean, we're not dealing with the world's best and brightest here, Jack. So, and so they get mad, and their way of handling that, when you don't immediately give in to their demands, they come at you physically, aggressively. But I'm not going to just surrender to them and stop filming because they threaten me and tell me not to. That's not how I operate. That's not how any self-respecting journalist should operate. So they decided to come after me. They decided to chase me down the sidewalk, you can see in this video. And there's 10 of them surrounding me. They tried to jump in front of me. I'm actually heading to my car at this point. So I was trying to get through on the sidewalk, and they shoved me into this flower pit. And I got up and was able to push my way out of the situation. And I go to the Portland police, and I stand next to this group of Portland police for 7 or 8 minutes, because that felt like a pretty safe place to be at the time, right? Little did I know I was going to end up being the one arrested rather than the people that just, broke my camera, shoved me into a hole, and punched me. They didn't end up getting arrested. It was just me, as you can see in the video. And I was shocked by this. I did not, for a second, even when I was being handcuffed, I thought there were two possibilities here. Either A, they're pretending like they're arresting me just to get me out of the situation, pretend like they're doing something. Or B, it's totally a case of mistaken identity. Never did it cross my mind in these first several minutes that they were actually arresting me for something. It was unfathomable. And they didn't know what they were arresting me for either, because it took over an hour for them to figure out what the charge was.
So what exactly have you been charged with? I mean, we can see in this video that you're clearly defending yourself, just like Kyle Rittenhouse, but here we go again.
Yeah, so they decided that they could charge me with disorderly conduct in the second degree. And, funny enough, we were pulled over on the side of the road in the cop car for an hour while they were trying to figure out what charge it would be. They were taking phone calls from superiors and stepping out of the vehicle to do so that I couldn't hear what they were talking about. Shady as hell. And they get back in the car and then say, okay, you're being charged with disorderly conduct in the second degree. And I'm like, okay, what exactly does that mean? What disorderly? You got to give me more of a description here. What was the event that led to me being charged with disorderly conduct? And they're like, well, it could have to do with three things. It could be either blocking the road, blocking the sidewalk, or getting in a fight. I said, okay, well, which one is it? And they're like, well, we don't actually know the answer to that question. So they were making it up as they went. And funny enough, ironically, Antifa is routinely doing all three of those things.
That's exactly what they all do. Exactly. So Nick,
that's the funny thing about this. So he said blocking the sidewalk, blocking the road, or violence, right? He didn't start or instigate anything with anyone. So they're saying blocking the road or blocking the sidewalk. That's literally Antifa every single day outside of this ICE facility for months now. That road that leads there, the ICE has to come out and clear them out of the way just so they can get a vehicle through. And none of them get charged. None of them get arrested, but they're going to put him under that same charge.
Before we go to that, then, we got a couple of minutes left in this segment. And what was it like being in jail? I mean, the moment you get the handcuffs on you, I mean, it obviously must be very confusing. You comported yourself very well, by the way. You kept your composure. I know that wasn't easy, but you showed that discipline like someone who's been in the field as many times as you, because you know, right? Don't fight there, fight it out in court. What was the rest of your night like as they put you in the back of the car and brought you to the prison cell?
You know, I even once I got to the jail, I was still thinking, okay, well, maybe they're going to be making a bunch of arrests, you know, because there are videos that are circulating from yesterday of people literally beating each other to a pulp in the middle of the road out there. So I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe this place is going to fill up, because it was mostly empty, of course, because they don't typically arrest people in Portland. So I was like one of very few people that were even in the jail. It was very quiet. Nobody else showed up. I mean, 2 other people showed up the whole night, and I didn't recognize either of them. So it's like, okay, who are they? What have they been arrested for? I didn't know, because they were 2 women, so they were put in a different section than I was. But so the 2 guys that were bloodying each other up in the middle of the street, you know, trying to fight each other, fighting other people, all the Antifa members that were stabbing people with umbrellas because they have those pointy ends on them. They use them as weapons, right? None of them ended up in the jail. Nothing. So it's like, and then if you read back on the Portland Police Department's Twitter or X, they actually say that after the targeted arrest of me, they cleared the scene and left. So it's like, was the entire point of them going to arrest me? Well, why did they just leave after that? It's not like the situation calmed down after I was gone. There's so many questions.
Wait. I want to be clear on this. I want to drill down on this. You're saying that it wasn't even necessarily your behavior and this scuffle with the flower bed and them pushing you down as you were leaving the situation. You're saying that you heard that it was a targeted arrest, meaning they may have been sent out to target you because of who you are and what you were doing?
They actually said, that's their term. That's not my term. They said that publicly, that they made a targeted arrest. So that was referring to me. So I'm not throwing that term out. I'm not making it up. That's what they said. Yeah.
So they have not defined that term yet. Of a working journalist on the street, and I've watched the video, by the way, and I've seen you in a million videos and covering a million different events. I've never once seen you use violence or provoke people or any of this litany of things that people are blocking roads or anything like that. I mean, like that's just not what Nick Sortor does. I mean, you provide Starlinks to people who have blocked roads, by the way, and you go out and help people as much as possible. And you've done the yeoman's work in time after time in so many of these disaster areas. And by the way, I'm sure that if there are a way that you had to help the people that are living and working in these conditions, that you would have done that as well. Nick, we're coming up on a break. Can I hold you over for just a little bit? Are you able to do that?
So I find this really interesting. He said they used the term, the police used the term targeted arrest, which means they were either seeking him out, maybe originally, maybe they knew he was going to be there based off of like his Twitter posts, because he's probably one of the bigger independent journalists on X. Like, he has over 1 million followers. So maybe they knew he was going to be there based off his posts and seeked him out, or they recognized him. Maybe they have like a list of names or pictures and recognized him in the crowd and try to get him out of there. Because like he said, the police cleared out once he was arrested. There's still other violence going on. There's other things going on at this riot that happens every single day. If you scroll through X and just type in like Portland, you're going to see people being violent with each other, assaulting each other, destruction of property, and the Portland police never does anything about it. And then he's there recording stuff, and apparently it's a targeted arrest on him specifically. So it's like they had to be seeking him out in some kind of way, or they had to have recognized him. And to me, that falls more like, it seems like they're trying to censor him, because they know they're losing the media battle, because Portland's insane. A lot of us have known that for a while, but some people, like on the left, like to pretend like it's this safe, heavenly place. So we know it's crazy for a while. A lot of these people like him and Nick Shirley and others have been there recording it, showing everything that's happening, and maybe they want to put a stop to it. So they saw he was there. Maybe they have a list of names of other people that are going to stop soon too, and try to censor what's actually happening there. Because in reality, this is the only way we know. Like, imagine if Elon Musk never bought X right now, right? The mainstream media isn't talking about this stuff. Fox News maybe here and there, but for the most part, the mainstream media is not talking about this. And imagine Twitter still with Jack Dorsey running it. Do you think he'd be allowing stuff like this? No. It was heavily censored back then. Facebook's heavily censored. All these other social media platforms are heavily censored. It's hard to find stuff like this. So, and X is the best spot for it. So it's a good thing we have it because, you know, the mainstream media is not talking about it. So I do think that's really interesting. I feel like they are trying to do some kind of a censorship campaign, or they're just trying to target specifically journalists because there's no other reason to make an arrest on him. So it's really interesting. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole thing. I don't think these Portland Antifa riots are slowing down anytime soon. They've gotten crazier and crazier. And it's really, you got to think about like, their funding has to come from somewhere, right? They have to be getting paid somehow for this, unless all these people just don't have jobs, which I guess is possible too. But they have to eat. They have to get money somewhere. And if you look at my Nick Shirley video, I'll put a link to it. A lot of the people have like the same gas mask on, and it looks like a high quality gas mask. Who's supplying that to them? Did they all just go to the gas mask shop together and get matching ones? Because it's not even like it's black. It's like bright pink with like yellow outline. It's like it stands out. They had to be getting that from somewhere. And, you know, I don't know. This whole thing's crazy. I'm hoping that he goes back out there and starts recording more. Same with the rest of them. I'll put a link to his X account so you guys can follow him. Highly recommend. He does really good reporting. Other people too, like Jonathan Cho does really good stuff. Nick Shirley is there, but he travels a lot, so I doubt he's going to still be there. Yeah, I don't. As long as the Portland police are doing nothing about this, it's going to keep happening. And based on the governor and the mayor and how they've been reacting to the whole Trump like sending people there, they're going to tell the Portland police to do nothing. And it gets to a point where, right? So I get we all have like jobs where we have bosses and we have orders to follow. But it gets to a point where if these police are not protecting the community, they're not doing their jobs, they're arresting journalists for doing nothing while they see people fighting in the street and just letting it go. This ICE facility is in a neighborhood. So all these people that live in apartment buildings that across the street have to hear this stuff every single night, which has to trigger some kind of noise ordinance, right? Most cities have noise ordinance rules. So it's like if the police aren't protecting their community, why are they even there? You know, it gets to a point where like these police need to like see what they're doing is like wrong. Like it's one thing to like follow orders, but the next thing is like, okay, are we just going to keep doing this? Are we going to keep endangering the community? Are we just going to be like, oh, look the other way and just follow the governor and the mayor? Like there's something wrong there. These police need to be doing more. And I feel like it's a lot of the policies in the city that make police just kind of give up. Because if you look at other police, like big cities like Seattle and stuff, there's been interviews where police will just say they won't even arrest some people because they know the DA or the attorney or whatever will just release them within like 24 hours with no charges. Happens all the time in big cities. That's how they keep their crime rates down, or say they're going down. So then it kills the morale of the police, and then they're going to feel less about like they're not going to want to try as hard when it comes to protecting the community. I feel like it's a whole circle of issues, but it all stems from the top. All stems from the governor and the mayor on if they want to protect the community or not. And they show every single day that they do not, because at the end of the day, they just want to go against Trump. They see this Antifa antagonizing ICE every single night is going against Trump. They don't care how many people get hurt. They don't care about the destruction of property. They don't care how many lives are like disrupted by this. They see it as an attack against Trump, and they're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it until the end of time. And it's just, yeah, if you live in Portland, just leave, dude. Just leave Portland. It's not worth living there. You know, it's not dealing with all this. Go to a nice country area, a nice rural area where it's like chill, relaxing. You can just vibe. You know, Antifa doesn't go towards the rural areas a lot, so you'd be nice and safe there. But let me know in the comments what you think about this whole thing. Make sure you watch my Nick Shirley video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Subscribe to my other social media channels. I'll catch you next time.